Okay, so welcome everyone. Welcome and Happy New Year. I hope you all had a wonderful break. As we get settled in, I'd love to see where everyone is joining us from today. So please feel free to drop your location in the chat. Oh, I'm seeing there's actually a slight delay. Okay, we'll just keep going. So welcome everyone to the 2025 Annual General Meeting for the Global Data Visualization Society. My name is Cedric Larry, and I'm the Early Career Director. Some of you might be wondering where our Executive Director is. You'll have to tune in to find out, but for now, my fellow board members and our colleague Will are stepping in to share those duties. My co-host today will share who they are and what they do as we walk through our updates, all in under an hour, hopefully. As always, we'll do our best to walk through the big picture pieces of what an AGM is and give you the behind the scenes look at what's been happening within the Data Visualization Society. So DVS was founded almost 7 years ago as a place for data visualization to be professional. And we're normally run by a board of 12 directors and supported by an advisory council that's a mix of industry experts as well as various former board members. Oh, I forgot to add this to the stage. Sorry, everyone. Full transparency, this year was a bit of a challenge for DVS in terms of keeping our board at full capacity, but I couldn't be happier with how well we've coordinated to keep things moving. And without spoiling too much, we actually have some super exciting updates and about the board. So stay tuned for that. So on behalf of the board, we wanted to thank our board members who had to step away from their roles this year. Christopher, Jenna, and Qingwei devoted so much of their time and energy and helped us better understand how to continue to grow in a sustainable way. And with how far DVS has grown over the years, we couldn't be where we are without our staff members, Brittany and Jane, our amazing duo that keeps the DVS ship running smoothly, and Alejandra, our new ops manager, who definitely keeps the ship from sinking. Our members love Nightingale, and thanks to the support of our incredibly talented team, it continues to be a wonderful place for our community writers. A special thanks also goes out to our programs managers, Katerina, Lisa, and Itasha, for running our most popular programs. As we think about the work that we do as an organization, all of that work would not be possible without the volunteers. They are an indispensable part of operations and programs, and we have to take a second to thank them for all that they did this past year. So that brings us to our big question. What is the AGM? The AGM was set up in our bylaws as a place and space each year for our membership to come together to see what is happening within the organization. You can do this, you can participate either live or asynchronously. You as members are equivalent to shareholders, who are the people who have a stake in the organization. Our DVS Plus members, as due paying members, also have the ability to vote on leadership decisions and our bylaws. Today, we're convening members for 3 key purposes: to help updates, to hear updates on DVS's activities over the past year, including a financial update on revenue, expenses, and where money is going in the organization. Second, to review priorities for the coming year, including reflecting on some of the challenges and how we may address them looking forward. And to talk about the slate of interviewed candidates being proposed to join the board. Each year, we have 6 open seats on the board, as our board turns over half of the board every 2 years, ensuring there's always continuity within the organization. You'll hear about the slate a little later on. If you want to, you're welcome to hop on the Slack and look at the DVS AGM channel to ask questions. So I will now pop our lovely board members off the screen. And we'll get right into the main show. So once again, for those of you joining us live, you can see that we've got an agenda here with some organizational updates, the finance update, and the slate, and finally some reflections and closing remarks. So if you're not familiar with the Professional Association for Data Visualization, and we are the professional association for data visualization that aims to bring people together across text, tools, and other spaces. And we're excited to have you here, whether you are a data visualization expert, enthusiast, or someone dabbling and curious about the field right now. We're looking forward to celebrating 7 years of DVS in 2026, coming this February. And our community has grown, as you can see across our various platforms. The 20K members that speak 48 languages across different countries reflect our membership numbers. So if you haven't signed up to be a member, you can absolutely join for free by signing up on our website or by joining our DVS Slack. As we think about our purpose as an organization, we always come back to our mission of nurture. So that's building a cross-functional, tool-agnostic community for sharing ideas, learning, and best practices for data visualization design. Celebrate, which is our second mission, which is to amplify and showcase brilliance in data visualization design through conferences, writing, and awards. And finally, to raise awareness about the practice of data visualization, collaborate with leaders to set professional standards, and to build a more inclusive field. So now we're going to talk to you about nurture. So I'm going to grab my colleague, Danny, and bring him onto the stage. And we'll take a few minutes to talk about how we've been nurturing. So in 2025, we held 44 free and open events for our community members with roughly 1,900 registrations. These numbers only reflect what programs and early career hosted. It does not include our affiliate groups or the challenges that we also held. A special thanks goes out to our former early career directors, Simran and Zane, who created many of these events that our community members enjoy. And also shout out to Jane and Brittany for supporting our committees. We also want to acknowledge our 9 active local affiliate groups and our recently revived geospatial interest group. In 2026, we look forward to supporting our local groups and Slack communities. More on how we plan to do that a little bit later. We also want to thank Katarina for once again running another successful year of one of our most popular programs. If you are a DVS Plus member, you can always sign up to be a mentor or mentee. Now over to you, Danny, for our website redesign updates.
Hey, I'm Danny Wu. I'm the education director. And for the last year, one of the major projects that we've been working on is redesigning and redeveloping a new DVS website that organizes all of our videos and tutorials and other resources, makes them more searchable and accessible to, for our membership. So here's a little preview of the homepage. So it's more of it's inspired by a kind of like an editorial feel at the top. We got feedback that there wasn't enough data visualization on the site itself. So the header has a really nice interactive data viz using live data from people who are currently on the website. So we hope to do a soft launch of the new website in the next month or two. And with that soft launch, we really want to get feedback from our community and membership on the direction that we're going in, and if there's any improvements that we can make on the website before we, really push it out to the public. So that is the website update. I'll kick it back to Cedric.
Thank you, Dani. And let's pass it over to Jennifer. And I will let her talk about how we are celebrating in the Data Visualization Society.
Thank you so much, Cedric. We can go to the next slide. So first off, I want to just highlight Outlier 2025 and how incredibly inspiring and so much fun it was in Magic City, Miami this past June 2025, hosted at the University of Miami Newman Alumni Center. If you were there in person or in spirit, we really appreciated your presence, your ideas, and just your thought-provoking communication and chat throughout the event. We had such a great time, and we're really looking forward to seeing you throughout 2026. Next slide. For Outlier 2025 by the numbers, we had a total of 331 participants, live and virtual, 30 speakers, 25 volunteers to help put the whole conference together, 2 keynotes, and it cost just shy of over $100,000 to operate. Outlier 2025 was made possible by our incredible sponsors. So big shout out to the University of Miami's Frost Institute for Data Science and Computing School of Communications. Also, we had some other incredible sponsors, including Visa, Netflix, the Open Visualization Academy, and Graphistry. And also all of you all who came out, as well as our incredible group of volunteers. So thank you all so much. And a big thanks to our sponsors for making it all happen. Next up, if you did go to Outlier, you are also probably going to Information is Beautiful Awards as well. We got to have a special treat and have both of those big events at the same time. This was an incredible opportunity to see some amazing visualizations from all around the world from incredible people. This was a huge success this year. We had a lot of incredible new categories, and it was great to see in person and online. IIB Awards, yes, 2024, even though it was in 2025 by the numbers. We had over 1,000 submissions, more than 80 judges, 19 volunteers helping to get everything reviewed and put together, and it cost over $50,000 to cost and run. Next up, we'd also like to celebrate a successful collaboration with InfoGrate to host Future Fridays workshops throughout 2025. I don't know if anybody on the chat was able to go to some of these incredible events. I know I was able to get to participate in at least one, and it was so much fun. So we really encourage you all to continue to participate in 2026. There were 4 sessions, total with over 338 registrants. We're really excited to continue partnering with InfoGreat to host future Fridays in 2026. We had 4 incredible luminaries, 24 final prototypes and projects, and we want to give a big thank you to Martina from InfoGreat for hosting these amazing events. Last but not least, we are super, super excited to announce this year's Outlier is going to be fully virtual, featuring a global schedule and applied practice and learning through some workshops and hands-on activities scheduled to run Wednesday, June 24th through Friday, June 26th. Outlier 2026 is going to build off of the magic of Miami and bring you the final draft, or maybe it's the final draft, or maybe it's the final draft version 2.1. As we've come to understand, our work as true to the practice, data visualization is always evolving. And the final draft is about embracing iteration, progression, and the transformative power of curiosity, feedback, tools, purpose, and the constraints of the world in which we work. We're excited for you to join us as attendees and potential speakers as we learn from those real stories, the hands-on experimentation, foundational and forward-thinking practices, whether you're just starting your journey or shaping the next frontier. We're excited to bring you Outlier 2026. It's going to be your space to connect, learn, and share how data and information becomes visual. To stay up to date on calls for speakers, committee support, ticketing, and agenda announcements, and just general news around Outlier, click on the QR code to sign up for the Outlier newsletter. We're planning to kick off committee planning and calls for speakers in the next couple of weeks once our conference director is onboarded. So get excited because the final draft is due in just a few short months. And I'm still going, so next up, if you haven't had the opportunity to contribute your perspective to the State of the Industry Survey for 2025, it's our multi-year data set that helps practitioners identify benchmarks for income decisions, explore questions about tool usage, career paths, learning resources, and more. This is also recommended ways to serve the international data visualization community. This State of the Industry Survey is going to be active for collecting survey responses through January 15th. So we highly recommend you pop over to the DVS website and provide your responses. We also want to highlight that the 2024 report is available on our website for a limited time, featuring over 24 visualizations from over 900 respondees. This will convert back to a member benefit after February 5th. So definitely check that out while it's available to you if you are not currently an active DVS Plus member. Next up, we wanted to highlight just a few data points from our latest community internal DVS survey. Over 212 respondents provided usable data for our community survey for 2025. This is just a teaser of one of those 24 questions in our report. And it just highlights where people are at with their current goals in data visualization. There's quite a concentration around expanding skills, becoming a subject matter expert, and even growing in freelance and mentoring others. We are incredibly grateful for the thoughtful responses and feedback you all provided and your shared experience, and we are definitely taking that information on. So thank you again for contributing, and we have a lot to be proud of across the community and a lot of great ideas and opportunities to enrich the conversation and content around how we support you as we continue to move through 2026 and beyond. with our State of the Industry survey still live, we wanted to highlight some external trends for 2025, including the obvious leaders of AI integrated tools and development and visualization for the Internet of Things or real-time data visualization. So pulling from a report around those top external trends, as you see at the bottom here, we just wanted to pull together some things that were pretty compelling for you all, including ethical responses to AI and data viz for social impact, some things that were pretty interesting and curious for me was neuro-inspired viz. This popped up at Outlier as well, meaning visualizations aligned with cognitive principles to create more engaging and cognitively efficient experiences. Thinking like adaptive color schemes as highlighted in other data visualization trends. Lastly, with the advancements in quantum computing, this can also trend towards advancements in visualizing the complex interactions between countless variables, such as the intricate relationships between genes in a biological system or dynamic patterns of global climate change. So this is pretty interesting for potential breakthroughs in fields like medicine, the sciences, climate modeling, to name a few. And then one of the other things that was pretty cool is immersive visualizations, which is another area that has a lot of potential for fields from the sciences, the arts, and even business applications. For instance, geographical data being visualized in 3D virtual environments, making it possible to explore different cities, countries, and particularly useful for urban planning, environmental modeling, historical research, and other interesting applications such as interactive data sculptures and other areas of the arts. Closing out here, just wanted to highlight some reflections that there is continued excitement and support for DVS. We are continually amazed and proud of what we build year over year. And like Cedric mentioned earlier, even as our staff kind of dwindled, we were able to put out a lot of impressive content. And our goal for 2026 is to continue to provide programming services and community engagement to give you all what you want and what you need and what you hope to build on as a community of practice, and really highlight our global reach and aim to close that gap between knowledge transfer of academic research and practice communities. None of this would be possible without the support of our volunteer board, volunteer members, paid members, partners, and just you all coming together to be a part of our community and make it what it is. So thank you all.
Thank you, Jennifer. And I will now pop you off the stage and bring on Will, our managing editor, who will tell you all about Nightingale.
Hi, everyone. As Cedric said, my name is Will Carreri. I'm the managing editor of Nightingale, and it was a really great year for us, if you wouldn't mind going to the next slide. This year, our digital publication published 78 new articles, brought in 188,000 unique visitors, and a cumulative 277,000 page views. This year, we surpassed 1.5 million total views since moving to WordPress a few years ago, and also had our highest percentage of first-time writers since 2020. Typically, we have anywhere from 55 to 65% of our contributors be first-time writers, having never published before anywhere. But this year, we had 72%. Most of those came from professionals in academia, which is an industry our contributors don't often come from. So it was really exciting to see that shift this past year. Our most popular articles this year were published, include Why Visual Journalism is So Slow by Jonas Osh, which featured a lot of great visual elements. A Garden of Sleep, tracking the emotional distance between two bedtimes by Or Mizgav, which was personally one of my favorite stories from this past year. And also How to Get a Job, written by our former editor-in-chief, Jason Forrest, which has proven to be a very valuable resource for those currently in the job market. We have a lot of new and returning faces for Nightingale in 2026, which I look forward to telling you all about in the coming weeks. But now I'll pass it off to Alexandra to talk about operations and finances.
Hi everyone, my name is Alexandra Rolfs. I'm currently a membership director, but I will give you an update on our operations and finances in 2025. Thank you, Cedric. So as Cedric mentioned at the beginning of our presentation and the meeting, we had 11 working board directors throughout 2025, some of them dedicating their time just for the half of the year of 2025. The number of paid team members increased by 1. We hired a new operations manager, Alejandra, who currently is fulfilling all the tasks regarding our finance, operations, and tax duties. And we had change in title for our awesome now executive assistant, Brittany. Previously, she was a virtual assistant in 2024. And thank you to all the contributors for the Nightingale and our outlier speakers. Next slide, please. So now let's delve into the 2025 numbers. Regarding the revenue, we booked around $282,000 in 2025, and total of expenses was around $307,000, which is in line with previous fiscal year 2024. And I will talk a little bit about why we saw a decrease in revenue when we see the next slide. Great, thank you. So as you probably know, if it's not your first AGM, we have 3 main sources of revenue. It's membership revenue, our DVS Plus members paying us. We also book the revenue from the event ticket sales and our print and digital journal sales. We saw a decrease in membership revenue this year, and it's primarily due to internal shift in the US policy, where we saw a decrease in grant and public program funding, and unfortunately it affected disproportionately our members, and we saw an increased churn in fiscal year 2025. The event ticket sales stayed on par, and all the revenue coming from the event ticket sales, it covers the expenses for this event. So if we go to the next slide, to the expenses, we can see that the majority of expenses for DVS were for event expenditures, as well as covering the part-time staff, and we're totaling around 43% of expenses for team and contributor time. So basically all our part-time contractors, as well as our speakers and guests and article contributors, they receive the stipend from DVS. Yeah, that's all I have for you on the operations.
Thank you, Alexandra. Okay, so the moment everybody's been waiting for, we are at the proposed board slate. So I am back to give you some updates on that as the nominations chair. So for those who might be new to this concept, I'll go into it a little bit more. DVS uses a slating process to select new board members on an annual cycle. The nominations committee reviews applications, conducts interviews, recommends candidates for 6 positions rather than holding an open vote for each individual role. We will vote on one collective group of candidates that is stacked with exceptional leaders in their respective disciplines and designed to better represent the unique makeup of our membership. So the nominations committee includes a mix of current and former board members and staff who have a deep understanding of the responsibilities and requirements of a directorship, as well as 2 members within DVS who are passionate about the organization and have previously served on the committee. The search for candidates started with an open application process where our DVS members self-nominated for the role or roles that interested them most. The nominations committee reviewed all applications and selected a short list of applicants to interview for each open director position. Those individuals were interviewed by 2 nominations committee members, including 1 current or former board member and an active community member. After the interviewers provided recommendations, and in making their recommendations, the nominations committee considered, among other things, the candidate's engagement in and understanding of data visualization community, their relevant expertise for specific directorship, their vision and leadership capabilities to be a board member, their resilience and experience with conflict management, their communication skills, and their commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion, as well as accessibility. These individuals together form the slate that we will be asking our active dues-paying members to vote on shortly. Full transparency, due to having multiple open roles on the board, which we had been working to fill, and the need to have board representation on the nominations committee, our current events director, Jennifer Roscoe, stepped up to provide administrative support on the nominations committee. This is atypical as she is also presented as part of the slate for the next cycle. And it's something we will look to avoid in the future to ensure separation between candidates and the committee. So with all that being said, the nomination cycle was from September 25th to roughly December 19th. And this is your proposed slate. We had 25 candidates apply, 10 were interviewed and 6 were selected. On this very tight timeline right before the holidays started. I will share a little bit more about the candidates, knowing their full biographies will be available to you all following the AGM. So Jennifer is returning, and she is our proposed candidate for events director. With a background in data strategy and information communication, she has leveraged her skills to support data literacy programs and supporting legislative policy. She also just casually works at the Federal Reserve. Jennifer envisions promoting discovery, accessibility, and usability of our programs and wants to continue increasing DVS connectivity through developing meaningful relationships across DVS. Next, we have Tiffany Tay. And she is a CPA and former PwC data visualization champion who led the rollout of Tableau and Power BI in her business unit. She now supports nonprofits through analytics, product management, and financial leadership to advance social impact. Her vision is for DVS to be inclusive, sustainable, and one where volunteers are supported, operations and finances are resilient, and members are empowered to tell better data stories to grow their impact. For programs, we propose Eleni Hoyleman. Eleni is an analytics and data storytelling leader, mouthful, with 18 years of experience leading impact and operational excellence at global organizations, including Meta and American Airlines. She is passionate about inclusive communities, data ethics, mentoring, and helping people turn data into insights and action. Her vision for DVS is to be the globally recognized home for data storytelling excellence, elevating standards through impactful programs and partnerships, fostering an inclusive, engaged community, and empowering practitioners with the resources they need to do their best work. Next up, we propose Brian Court for Publications Director. Brian has 20 plus years of data visualization and leadership roles at Uncharted and Pienso, and helped found the DVS NYC chapter. He holds a master's in machine learning. As Publications Director, he will grow the reach and impact of DVS publications by strengthening the editorial team, building academic and industry partnerships, and positioning Nightingale as a bridge between research, practice, and education. For education, we propose Alina Economica. Oh my God. Alina is an interdisciplinary data visualization designer and full stack engineer, working across industry and academia with a focus on geospatial visualization, creating coding and human AI collaboration. She has taught at MIT and Northeastern and holds dual master's degrees from MIT. As Education Director, she envisions DVS as a globally recognized hub for data visualization, building industry partnerships, expanding online learning and certificates, and supporting early career professionals while serving nonprofits and global initiatives. And finally, for partnerships, we have Obina Iwuji. Obina is a creative developer and data storyteller with a background in advertising and global partnerships, blending design, technology, and strategy to make complex data accessible and culturally relevant. His vision for DVS is to be a connector, building ethical, mission-aligned partnerships that position data visualization as an essential practice, shaping decisions, culture, and everyday life. That concludes our slate, but we have more exciting news as we've been working super hard to fill our vacancies. I am happy to report that the board has found 3 more directors to fill our vacancies. Joining us on the board, we have Isabel Parks as Knowledge Director, Kim Brucey for Communications Director, and Brittany Rosenau. You'll learn more about these amazing practitioners in the coming weeks, but for now, I can share that Dr. Isabel Parks is a data practitioner and visualization designer with a PhD in behavioral and systems neuroscience from UCL and a decade of academic experience based between London and Hong Kong. Her vision is to create a centralized, transparent knowledge hub that turns DVS's internal processes into accessible visual resources, strengthening governance, trust, and connection between the board and the global community. Kim is the founder of Storied Visual Communication Studio, specializing in presentations, pitch decks, and data visualization for B2B clients, blending design, copyright, and marketing. Her vision is to make DVS communications something members look forward to, delivering value, inspiration, and connection while showcasing the diversity, creativity, and global reach of the community. And finally, Brittany is a BI engineer and Tableau visionary with years of experience turning complex data into decision-ready insights. She's a 10-time Viz of the Day winner and an Iron Viz 2023 finalist. Her vision is for DVS to be the premier inclusive hub for data visualization practitioners at every career stage, supporting the board, strengthening community feedback, and meeting members where they are to foster connection, learning, and collaboration. And that completes our slate. Our DVS Plus or dues paid members will only be voting on the candidates shaded in yellow. Each year, half of DVS board seats are open for nominations, which helps us ensure our organizational continuity rather than having a completely new board every 2 years. The executive director, communications director, early career director, membership director, knowledge director, and DEI director roles will be open for nominations later this year. So with that, we want to talk about another part of the ballot, which is going to be a little bit different from typical annual general meetings. So we want to propose a change in the responsibilities and title of the DEI director. The DEI director role was originally created as a supportive advisory position to help ensure DVS programs, partnerships, and initiatives reflected the organization's value of diversity, equity, and inclusion. As DVS has grown, our leadership has recognized the need for more community-driven, hands-on role to actively support our expanding network of local affiliate groups, interest groups, and shared community spaces, including our Slack. We are therefore proposing an evolution of the DEI director role into the community/engagement director role that emphasizes direct community building, engagement, stewardship. This change represents an amendment to the existing position rather than a replacement, as diversity, equity, and inclusion practices remain a core responsibility embedded within the role. And no, we are not changing this because of any political pressure. No one's really applied for the role, and so we figured it was time for it to change. But the membership will vote on it, and you guys get to decide the name as well. So please make sure that you vote on the ballot. So in terms of next steps, the link to vote on the proposed slate, as well as the bylaw changes, will be shared over email and Slack, or you can nab the URL. A reminder that only our DVS Plus members can vote, so please use the email address associated with your DVS membership when prompted in the ballot, so you can confirm your eligibility to participate. You will only vote once, and you will choose to either accept the proposed slate or reject the proposed slate rather than cast your vote for or against any individual candidate. And the same goes for the bylaws change to the DEI role. So thank you. And one final note is DVS is a constantly growing organization that has a huge need for practitioners across various fields, but also skill sets. And we wanted to remind you all that we are a volunteer organization and your support is absolutely needed to keep us running. And there's lots of ways to contribute. So there is now an open call for volunteers, and we'll update the website shortly. So just give us a little bit of time. But if you're interested in volunteering, Jennifer and I will be hosting a volunteer Q&A live session on January 24th at 3 p.m. UTC. So please come and listen to how you can support us. And we need all people with all different kinds of skills, even if it's for an hour. That makes a huge difference in our community. So I hope you'll take us up on our offer. And also that will be posted on YouTube as well. So please come to our live session and listen to how DVS will be, or how DVS needs your support. There's many ways to get involved. So you can join the Slack. You can become a DVS Plus member, or you can join for free and come to our local events. You can also join a committee, which is also free. And you can share your expertise. So you can do things like joining the mentorship program. They're always in need of mentors. And you can also participate. Yeah, you can also support partnerships as well. So thank you for being part of our community, everyone. And we are now at the end of our session. For DVS Plus members, please watch your inbox for the ballot and slate today. An email should be sent shortly. So that is it, everyone. Thank you for coming to this very short AGM, surprisingly quick. I will, oh, okay. So I think that I will end the session, and thank you everyone for coming. See you soon.